What's up, future millionaires? Mike the Investor, and today we're going to talk about Nokia stock. Is it a good 5G stock to buy? And secondly, at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you guys how Nokia is leading the new 6G network infrastructure. So let's dive right into it. Alright investors, welcome back to the channel. If you would like to earn some free stocks, be sure to check out the Robinhood and the 𝗬𝗎𝗓 link down below. Now I'm going to give you a brief overview on what I'm going to cover in this video. Now the first thing, we're going to talk about Nokia and their main focus and new business change for the company. Secondly, we're going to look at some brief financial numbers for Nokia. Thirdly, we're going to dive into some acquisitions that Nokia has been making for 5G and some competition that they are seeing in the 5G market. The fourth thing we will talk about is how Nokia is leading the new 6G network infrastructure, which I think is super massive. And then we're going to end it off with my closing thoughts. So let's check this out. As we dive into who is Nokia, it says, we create the technology to connect the world. Only Nokia offers a comprehensive portfolio of network equipment, software, services, and licensing opportunities across the globe. With our commitment to innovation driven by the award-winning Nokia Bell Labs, we are a leader in the development and deployment of 5G networks. It goes on to say our communication service provider customers support more than 6.4 billion subscriptions with our radio networks, and our enterprise customers have deployed over 1,300 industrial networks worldwide. So this gives us kind of a brief overview on what Nokia is standing out to do. And as you can look here at their 5G in action, extraordinary 5G customer stories, Nokia leads the way. You can see they have 184 commercial 5G engagements, 133 commercial 5G deals, and 42 live 5G operator networks. We move down just a little bit. If we look for the United States, who Nokia already has partnered with them, AT&T, we have Dish, we have T-Mobile, which is now merged with Sprint, we have TELUS, US Cellular, US Department of Defense, and Verizon. We go over to the Europe base here. You have A1 Austria here. There are also some other big names as well. As you can see, as we look at Middle East and Africa, you have Togocom, you have the Telecom here, China Mobile, SoftBank here. So you can see that they are definitely connected with a lot of major network players here. If we move over to Nokia announces first phase of its new model strategy, changes to operating model and group leadership. So we move down a little bit. You can see their new groups, new business groups are mobile networks, IP and fixed networks, cloud and network services, and Nokia Technologies. New structure effective on January 1st, 2020. So now we're going to dive into a few financials of Nokia to see what they've been doing over the past year and how the new business model focus has been doing far as numbers. Let's check this out. So we're going to scroll down a little bit here, and you can see if we look at the mobile networks, it will target leadership in key technologies such as 5G, O-RAN, and vRAN. The net sales of mobile networks in the last 4 quarters was approximately 10 billion euros. IP and fixed networks the last 4 quarters, 7 billion euros. We have the cloud network and services here. You can see the last 4 quarters right around 3 billion euros. And then we have Nokia Technologies, which is mainly largely unchanged. You can see the last 4 quarters, approximately 1.4 billion euros. If we go over here to 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗏𝗧𝗏, we're going to briefly look at the income statement. If you look here at the revenue, you can see 2017 from there, they've seen a decline from 2017 at 27.7 all the way to 25.8. And if we move over to 2016, you can see it has increased from 2018 to 2019. And you can see from last reported as of, whenever it was reported last, I believe this month, you can see we're sitting really close to where we were at 2019. Now, the company did say they were going to see a rough Q2 earnings previously. Now, let's go ahead and click on the balance sheet. Looking at Nokia's total cash and investment, last reported 9.2 million, so they definitely have some cash on hand. If we look at their long-term assets, 45.5 billion, which is more than their total liabilities, which is definitely a good thing, something you always want to see with a company. You can see 27.6 million. So if you minus the liabilities from the assets, the stockholder share equity will be 17.8 million. So almost 18 million in equity that the company will still have left over after they take care of all of their liabilities. So that gives us a brief overview on Nokia's financials, on how the company has been doing and what the company looks like as a whole. So we're going to dive into this article of 𝗖𝗚𝗜𝗚 still gaining market share, which definitely is a bad sign for 5G competitors such as Nokia. And then we're going to lead into some of the positive, juicy acquisitions that Nokia has been making all the way from March all the way to about now, which is in December. Let's check this out. 𝗖𝗚𝗜𝗚 gains market share in telecom despite US restrictions. Ericsson and Nokia are the only companies that offer a full 5G solution, but Cisco, Ciena, and Samsung compete as well. 𝗖𝗚𝗚𝗚's market share has increased by 3 percentage points year over year to 31% in 2020. That is pretty big. As we move down a little bit, Nokia has shrunk by a third to about 14 to 15%, and Ericsson has lost 3% of their market share, so now they are down to 14%. As we take a look at this 5G company market share for competitors, 𝗖𝗚𝗚𝗚 is definitely leading the way. We have Nokia number 2, but Ericsson is right on their heels, and then we have the other 5G competitors that have not hit the double digits in market share just yet. So as an investor, it's definitely important to know your competition. It's definitely important to know the strengths and the weaknesses of the competition as well. 𝗖𝗚𝗚𝗚 is definitely the biggest player right now in 5G, but I definitely see Nokia taking some of that market share, and I'm going to show you why by checking out these juicy articles. Let's dive into it. The first press release we're going to take a look at: Nokia, Telenor, and Telia create the world's most advanced shared wireless network in Denmark. March 4th, 2020 is when this went live. You can see this is the first network to include live multi-operator core network capabilities for 2G, 3G, 4G, and 5G simultaneously. The live trial utilized Nokia's end-to-end 5G technology, including 5G RAN and 5G Cloud Core. The next press release came out March 5th, a day after, which is Nokia collaborates with Intel on silicon technology, innovates for 5G new radio cloud infrastructure. It says Nokia continues to execute on its silicon strategy for 5G, expanding the range of ReefShark chipsets available to improve performance and decrease the energy footprint of 5G networks. The next press release we're taking a look at here was on July 27, 2020. So we're taking a step up. Nokia and US Cellular team up for 5G mmWave to modernize 5G capabilities for enhanced customer experiences. Scrolling down just a tad, you can see US Cellular is beginning its multi-year deployment of 5G mmWave now, with commercial availability planned for 2021. We look briefly up here, which allows the scaling of 5G Internet of Things services faster and more cost effectively. The next press release we're going to take a look at: Nokia partners with A1 for LTE in 5G campus networks in Austria. So you can see not only is Nokia putting their footprint in the US, but they're getting around the entire globe. Wherever 5G can be implemented, Nokia is trying to put their footprint there. So they are definitely around the entire globe. It goes on to say Nokia today announced a services deal with A1 Austria, building on the leadership of both companies in the Austria enterprise market in this 3-year contract starting earlier in 2020. Nokia is providing its industrial-grade private wireless technology and services for all existing and new A1 Austria LTE and 5G enterprise campus network deployments. The next press release, Nokia selected as one of TELUS network infrastructure partners to provide transformational 5G mobile services for Canadians, released November 23, 2020. It announced that TELUS is deploying a range of its solutions to support the Canadian operator deliver greater network scale, performance, and efficiency, helping to strengthen and expand its 5G service offerings. Next press release we're going to dive into: Nokia and Togocom deployed first 5G network in West Africa, released on November 30th, 2020. I think this is massive, folks. You can see this was announced, selected by African mobile operator 𝗃𝗏𝗡 in a 3-year deal to deploy 5G across the entire country. The next press release, Nokia and AT&T to support enterprise with rapid IoT deployments. IoT stands for Internet of Things. Nokia and AT&T extend worldwide IoT network grid wing collaboration to deliver seamless IoT connectivity to enterprise around the world and support upgrades to 5G. This was released December 1st, 2020. This is pretty recent. It goes on to say the collaboration with Nokia Wing enables AT&T to extend its footprint and bring local capabilities to any enterprise operating globally by offering seamless IoT services on a global level. Check this out. AT&T will be able to support enterprise customers running more automated, productive, sustainable, and safer businesses while ensuring consistent quality of service. And I think this is massive here. This really shows the power of Nokia's technology. Nokia Wing has been successfully launched into the automotive and financial industries with AT&T, and the operator is now targeting additional industries including transportation, retail, agriculture, utilities, and smart cities. So you could definitely see Nokia is moving up in the right direction. Another press release we can dive into. Nokia deploys 5G private networking for 5G 4K MU across 5 German research centers. As we scroll down, this was released December 2nd, 2020. This is also pretty recent. Nokia today announced it will deploy industrial-grade 5G standalone SA private wireless networking for the 5G 4K MU project, which spans 5 leading research centers in the state of Baden-Württemberg upon completion. It will comprise the largest 5G campus-based networking deployment in German research and academy. That is major. This is big here, folks. You can see Nokia starts production of the next generation 5G equipment in India. This was released December 8th, 2020. You can see Nokia was the first to manufacture the 5G new radio in India. Nokia is making a lot of major moves, and the last thing I kind of want to dive into here, Nokia to enhance SoftBank Corp networks with standalone 5G Corp, announced December 8th, 2020. 5G Core software has been selected by SoftwareBank Corp to enable the launch of SoftBank's standalone 5G services. And the last 5G article is right here. Nokia strengthens 5G private wireless ecosystem in Japan with industry-leading alliance. As we move down just a tad, Nokia today announced the Nokia Local 5G Technology Partnership, a new strategic alliance involving these companies to accelerate adoption of 5G-based enterprise industry solutions in Japan. Now check this out, folks. Working in close collaboration, alliance partners will combine their collective industry, device, applications, cloud, and 5G expertise to create new industry-specific solutions for use cases that include remote control, artificial intelligence, automation, robotics, and automatic guided vehicles. So investors, this is why I am so bullish on Nokia. I do have a very small position. I would like to get about 100 to 200 shares and just sit on this position, because I believe we're going to see very nice price movement in the next 24 to 36 months. This is not financial advice. Please still do your own due diligence, but I definitely think, Nokia is going to be solid in the long term, even with Huawei having most of the 5G market share right now. But enough talking about the 5G, let's talk about this new 6G that the company Nokia is actually leading the European Commission. Let's dive into this. Nokia to lead the EU 6G project 𝗧𝗓𝗡𝗧. Nokia is the project leader for 𝗧𝗓𝗡𝗧, the European Commission's 6G flagship initiative for research into the next generation of wireless networks. The 𝗧𝗓𝗡𝗧 vision is to connect human, physical, and digital worlds with the fabric of 6G technology enablers. The 𝗧𝗓𝗡𝗧 is the first official research initiative across the industry ecosystem to accelerate and foster 6G research and drive European leadership in the 6G 6G era. And this was released on December 7th, 2020, which is still very recent. This is pretty crazy, right? So I was doing a little bit digging to try to figure out what exactly is 6G gonna be. So I found a little bit more research looking on the Nokia website on Nokia Bell Labs. Let's check this out. How we envision the 6G era. The 4G era heralded a fundamental shift to the smartphone and massive consumption of data. In the 5G era, the attention is now turning to machines as networks power the Internet of Things, also known as IoT, and the industrial automation systems. In the next decade, as the 6G emerges, there will yet another fundamental shift, this time toward people who use those networks. In the 6G era, we will confluence of the digital, physical, and biological worlds with the human beings at the center. So if we move down briefly, this will show you a diagram on what they're kind of talking about. On the triangle in the middle, you have 6G. At the top, the digital world. On the left, physical world. On the right, you have the biological world. So there goes a little bit of information on Nokia's 6G infrastructure and how they are leading the way as far as research and deploying it. And also, the 5G industry is projected to be about $8 trillion by 2030. So if the 5G market is going to be that much, imagine what the 6G industry will be. But that is all I got for you guys. If you enjoyed this video and you gained some value from it, definitely consider sharing this video out. Smash that like button as well. I'm Mike the Investor. Remember to stay inspired, stay motivated, always invest in yourself, and I'm out.